Sometimes we believe that sharing our struggles with everyone around us will ease the burden, that maybe if we spread our pain wide enough, it will somehow feel lighter. But here's the truth: constantly talking about our problems only strengthens them. Every time we retell the story of our hardships, we relive the same emotions, reinforcing those feelings and keeping ourselves stuck in that same cycle. Every thought, every word you speak carries energy. Whether you realize it or not, the words you choose shape your experience of the world. They mold your perception, dictate your emotional responses, and ultimately create your reality. You see, words are not just sounds or symbols, they are powerful vibrations that influence your inner state and how you engage with life. When you speak, you're not simply communicating ideas, you're giving life to those ideas. You are affirming their truth, whether positive or negative. Now imagine this: if you continuously talk about your struggles, challenges, and misfortunes, what kind of energy are you creating? By repeating these narratives, you reinforce them in your mind. Every time you share a problem or dwell on a difficult situation, you relive it. You bring that energy back into your present moment, allowing it to affect you again. This isn't about avoiding reality or pretending problems don't exist. It's about understanding the role your words play in amplifying those challenges. When we constantly tell people about our problems, we invite those problems to remain at the forefront of our minds. We become so identified with them that they begin to shape our identity. Suddenly, our struggles define us. We wear them like badges, constantly reminding ourselves and others of what isn't going right. This creates a vicious cycle where the more we talk about our problems, the more we perceive them to dominate our lives. They start to feel heavier, more significant than they actually are, because our attention magnifies them. But what if you shifted your perspective? What if instead of focusing on the problem, you began to focus on the solution? What if instead of telling the story of your hardships, you started telling the story of your growth, your resilience, and the steps you are taking to overcome those difficulties? You would begin to change the narrative. You would move from being a victim of your circumstances to becoming the creator of your experience. This shift is where true transformation happens. Words are not neutral, they carry weight. When you speak about something repeatedly, you are affirming it. It becomes an internalized truth. For example, if you constantly tell yourself, "I'm overwhelmed," that feeling of overwhelm becomes your reality. Your mind and body respond to that statement. Your energy aligns with it, and before you know it, you feel exactly as you've been telling yourself. You begin to live in a state of overwhelm, even in situations where calm might be possible. Your words, in essence, have programmed your experience. On the other hand, if you begin to tell yourself, "I can handle this," or "I'm finding solutions," you create space for new energy. You allow yourself to move toward that reality of strength and resourcefulness. Instead of reinforcing the problem, you're reinforcing the idea that you are capable of overcoming it. This subtle shift in language creates a significant shift in your experience. You're no longer feeding the problem, you're nurturing the solution. One of the reasons this works is because our brains are wired to respond to the stories we tell. The subconscious mind, which governs much of our behavior and emotional reactions, doesn't distinguish between reality and imagination. It takes everything you say as a literal command. So when you tell yourself or others that life is hard, that you're struggling, or that things never work out for you, your subconscious mind believes it. It processes that information and acts accordingly, creating a reality that reflects those beliefs. But the reverse is also true. If you start speaking words of empowerment, if you begin affirming that you are resilient, that you are learning, that good things are happening, your subconscious mind starts to align with those statements. It begins to seek out evidence of those truths in your everyday life. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's a powerful mental shift. By changing the words you speak, you change what your mind focuses on and in turn what you experience. This is not about denying your challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about recognizing that you have a choice in how you respond to those challenges. You have the power to shift your focus from the problem to the solution. And that shift begins with the words you choose to speak. When you find yourself tempted to talk about your problems, pause. Reflect on the language you are using. Are you reinforcing the difficulty, or are you empowering yourself to move beyond it? Instead of saying, "I can't deal with this, try, I'm finding my way through." Instead of saying, "This is too much for me, try, I'm growing stronger every day," these subtle changes in your language will begin to shape your reality in profound ways. The truth is, you are always affirming something with your words. The question is, what are you affirming? Are you affirming your limitations, or are you affirming your potential? The choice is always yours. And when you begin to choose your words consciously, when you start to speak life into your dreams and possibilities instead of feeding your fears and doubts, everything begins to change. Your words shape your reality, so let them build the reality you truly want to experience. When we encounter problems or challenges, it's easy to fall into a cycle of overthinking and dwelling on what's wrong. We replay the situation in our minds, recounting every detail of how things went wrong, why it happened, and who might be to blame. But this focus on the problem keeps us stuck. It keeps us anchored in a state of frustration, worry, or even helplessness, preventing us from seeing a way out. What if instead of focusing on the problem, we made a conscious decision to focus on the solution? Shifting our mindset to focus on solutions is more than just a change in thought patterns, it's a shift in energy. When we dwell on problems, we give them our power. We hand over our ability to create change by reinforcing the idea that the problem controls us. But when we choose to focus on solutions, we reclaim that power. We take control of the situation by actively seeking ways to move forward. The shift from problem-focused thinking to solution-oriented thinking opens up new pathways for growth, progress, and resolution. When we focus on solutions, our perspective changes. Problems start to lose their emotional grip on us. Instead of being overwhelmed by what's going wrong, we begin to see possibilities. We start asking better questions like, what can I do to change this? Or how can I make this situation work in my favor? These questions invite creativity and resourcefulness into the conversation, empowering us to take action rather than remain passive. A key part of focusing on solutions is acknowledging that challenges are part of life. There is no avoiding difficulties altogether, but we can choose how we respond to them. When we view challenges through the lens of growth, they stop being obstacles and start becoming opportunities. Every problem carries within it a lesson, a chance to learn something new or develop a new skill. By focusing on solutions, we shift our mindset from one of resistance to one of acceptance and resilience. Resilience is built by facing problems head-on, not by ignoring or avoiding them. But there's a difference between acknowledging a problem and letting it consume you. Acknowledging it means accepting that it exists, but also recognizing that it's not the whole story. The problem is just one part of the equation, the solution is the other. Focusing on the solution allows you to keep moving forward, even when the path isn't entirely clear. Another powerful aspect of focusing on solutions is the shift from victimhood to empowerment. When we focus only on problems, we often adopt a mindset of powerlessness. We feel as though things are happening to us rather than recognizing that we have the ability to influence outcomes. Solution-oriented thinking, on the other hand, puts the power back in our hands. It reminds us that we are not at the mercy of circumstances. We have the ability to make choices, take actions, and create change. This doesn't mean that the solution is always immediately obvious or that it will be easy. Sometimes the solution requires patience, persistence, and experimentation. But by maintaining a focus on what can be done, rather than what has gone wrong, we create a mindset of possibility. We start to see challenges as something we can navigate rather than something that controls us. Solutions often come when we open ourselves to them, when we allow our minds to explore new avenues instead of staying trapped in the narrative of the problem. It's important to remember that solutions don't always look like quick fixes. Sometimes the solution is gradual, requiring consistent effort and small steps over time. But even small steps forward are better than standing still in the problem. Every action taken toward a solution, no matter how small, brings us closer to resolution. The momentum created by focusing on solutions helps us keep moving, even when progress feels slow. Focusing on solutions also helps to reduce stress. When we constantly think about problems, we generate stress in both our minds and bodies. Our nervous system reacts to the perceived threat, keeping us in a state of fight or flight. By shifting our focus to solutions, we calm the mind and create a sense of direction. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by what's going wrong, we feel empowered by what we can do. This shift in focus creates a more positive mental and emotional state, which in turn supports our ability to find and implement solutions effectively. Lastly, focusing on solutions fosters a mindset of gratitude. When we actively look for solutions, we start to appreciate the resources, skills, and support systems we already have. We recognize our own resilience and resourcefulness. This gratitude can serve as a powerful motivator, reminding us that we are capable of overcoming challenges and that even in difficult situations, there are always things to be thankful for. By focusing on solutions, we invite positive change into our lives. We move from a state of stagnation to one of progress, from frustration to empowerment, and from limitation to possibility. Solutions are always there waiting for us to discover them. All we need to do is direct our energy toward them, and we will begin to see the way forward. The people we choose to confide in can have a profound impact on our emotional and mental well-being. Sharing our thoughts, challenges, and feelings with someone is a deeply personal act, one that requires trust and vulnerability. But not everyone deserves that access. It's essential to be discerning about who we open up to, because the energy and feedback we receive from others can either lift us up or pull us down. That's why it's crucial to select our confidants wisely. When you're dealing with personal struggles or delicate emotions, you're in a vulnerable state. You're seeking not just a listener, but someone who can hold your space with empathy, care, and perhaps even a fresh perspective. However, if you share your deepest feelings with the wrong people, you may find yourself facing judgment, negativity, or even indifference. Not everyone is capable of handling your vulnerability with the care it deserves. Some people may project their own issues onto you, making your problem feel worse than it actually is. Others may offer unsolicited advice that is unhelpful or even disempowering because it comes from a place of their own fears and insecurities. In some cases, sharing too much with too many people can dilute the energy needed to solve your problems. When we repeatedly talk about an issue with multiple people, it can become more about venting than actually seeking solutions. The more you recount your struggles, the more energy you give to them. And the more people you tell, the more varied responses you'll receive, many of which may not be helpful at all. Some people may unintentionally feed into your negative emotions, making you feel worse, while others may trivialize your concerns, leaving you feeling misunderstood or unsupported. Being selective about who you share with isn't about being secretive or isolating yourself. It's about recognizing that not everyone has the emotional intelligence, compassion, or wisdom to offer what you need. A true confidant is someone who listens without judgment, who provides thoughtful, constructive feedback, and who genuinely wants to see you grow and heal. They are the people who create a safe space for you to express yourself without fear of being misunderstood or criticized. It's also important to be aware of the motives of those you confide in. Some people may appear to be good listeners on the surface, but underneath they may have their own agenda. They might thrive on gossip, enjoy being the go-to person for everyone's problems, or use your vulnerability as a way to feel superior. When you share your struggles with someone like this, you run the risk of your personal information being used against you or spread to others. This is why trust is the cornerstone of any meaningful and supportive relationship. Without trust, sharing can feel like a risky gamble, where the consequences of opening up might outweigh the benefits. In choosing who to confide in, it's essential to consider not just the person's character, but also their emotional and mental state. If someone is going through their own difficult time, they may not have the capacity to hold space for you. Confiding in someone who is struggling themselves might lead to unhelpful comparisons or even resentment, as they may feel overwhelmed by their own issues. In such cases, it's better to either keep your challenges to yourself for the time being or seek out someone who has the emotional bandwidth to truly listen and offer support. It's also worth considering that sometimes the best confidant may be someone outside of your immediate circle, someone who can offer an objective viewpoint. This could be a therapist, a mentor, or someone you trust who isn't involved in your day-to-day life. These individuals can provide a fresh perspective without the biases that close friends or family members might have. They can see things from a broader angle and help you navigate your feelings with a clearer mind. Lastly, understand that not every problem needs to be shared. There's power in keeping certain things private and working through them on your own. Sometimes the process of self-reflection, meditation, or journaling can bring more clarity than a conversation ever could. By keeping your energy focused inward, you give yourself the space to process your emotions, find your own answers, and build your inner strength. In doing so, you learn to trust yourself more deeply, which can lead to greater emotional resilience and self-reliance. In the end, choosing the right people to confide in is about protecting your energy and fostering relationships that are truly supportive. It's about surrounding yourself with people who elevate you, who understand the depth of your struggles without feeding into the negativity. By being selective about who you share your most vulnerable moments with, you can preserve your emotional well-being and create a safe, nurturing space for growth. Not everyone deserves to hear your story, and that's okay. The right confidants will support you with the empathy and care that you truly deserve. In our daily lives, we often encounter a variety of experiences, people, and environments that either uplift or drain us. Energy is a precious resource, one that fuels our actions, thoughts, and emotions. It's what drives us to pursue our goals, connect with others, and find joy in everyday moments. But like any resource, our energy is limited, and if we don't protect it, we can quickly become depleted, overwhelmed, and even burnt out. That's why it's essential to protect your energy with as much care as you would protect anything valuable. Protecting your energy begins with self-awareness. It's important to pay attention to how certain situations, people, or activities affect you. Some things will leave you feeling energized, inspired, and fulfilled, while others will drain you, leaving you exhausted or emotionally depleted. The first step in protecting your energy is recognizing the difference. Take a moment to reflect on your daily routine. What activities boost your energy? What interactions leave you feeling drained? This awareness allows you to make more intentional choices about where and how you invest your energy. One of the most common energy drains comes from people. We all have different types of relationships in our lives, and while some are nurturing and positive, others may be toxic or one-sided. It's important to recognize when certain relationships are no longer serving you. Some people may constantly take from you emotionally, whether through negativity, complaining, or always needing your support without reciprocating. These relationships can leave you feeling drained, anxious, or resentful. Protecting your energy doesn't mean cutting people off without reason, but it does mean setting boundaries to ensure that your interactions remain healthy and balanced. Setting boundaries is crucial for energy protection. Without them, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the demands of others or to feel responsible for their problems. Boundaries create a clear line between what is acceptable and what is not, allowing you to conserve your energy for the things that truly matter. This could mean saying no to commitments that don't align with your priorities, limiting time with people who drain your energy, or simply taking time for yourself when you need it. It's not selfish to protect your energy, it's necessary for your well-being. Another key to protecting your energy is managing your thoughts and emotions. Negative thought patterns, such as constant worry, self-criticism, or dwelling on the past, can be just as draining as external circumstances. Your mind is a powerful tool, and what you focus on has a direct impact on your energy levels. When you focus on problems, negativity, or things outside of your control, you can quickly become mentally and emotionally exhausted. On the other hand, when you focus on solutions, gratitude, and things that uplift you, your energy remains high and vibrant. It's essential to cultivate a positive mental environment by practicing mindfulness, affirmations, or gratitude exercises that help shift your focus away from negativity and towards growth and possibility. In addition to managing your mental energy, it's important to protect your physical energy. Your body is your vessel. and taking care of it is essential for maintaining high energy levels. This means getting enough rest, eating nourishing food, staying hydrated, and engaging in physical activity that makes you feel good. Physical exhaustion can quickly lead to emotional and mental fatigue, so it's important to listen to your body's needs and honor them. Rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Taking time to recharge through sleep, relaxation, or self-care is an essential part of protecting your energy. It's also important to create an environment that supports your energy. Your surroundings can have a significant impact on how you feel. A cluttered, chaotic space can make you feel overwhelmed and drained, while a clean, organized, and peaceful environment can help you feel calm and rejuvenated. Take time to create spaces in your life that promote peace and positivity, whether that's your home, your workspace, or even the people you choose to spend time with. When you surround yourself with things and people that uplift you, your energy is naturally protected and replenished. Finally, protecting your energy means being mindful of the commitments you take on. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and feel like you have to say yes to everything. But overcommitting can quickly lead to burnout. It's important to prioritize your time and energy, focusing on the things that truly matter to you. Saying no to things that don't align with your values or goals is an act of self-care. It allows you to conserve your energy for the things that bring you joy, fulfillment, and a sense of purpose. In essence, protecting your energy is about taking responsibility for your well-being. It's about recognizing that you have the power to choose where and how you invest your energy. By setting boundaries, managing your thoughts, taking care of your body, and creating a supportive environment, you can ensure that your energy remains vibrant and abundant. When you protect your energy, you're not just preserving your ability to function, you're honoring yourself and your right to live a life that feels good to you. Affirming your strengths is a practice that can transform the way you perceive yourself and the world around you. Often we are our own harshest critics, quick to point out our flaws and shortcomings while overlooking the qualities that make us unique and capable. When you affirm your strengths, you're not just acknowledging the skills, talents, and abilities that you already have, you are reinforcing them and building confidence that can propel you forward. This is not about arrogance or overconfidence, but about recognizing your inherent value and tapping into your potential. It all begins with self-awareness. To affirm your strengths, you first need to take a close look at what they are. This might involve reflecting on past successes, the challenges you've overcome, and the qualities that helped you navigate those moments. It could be resilience, creativity, empathy, problem-solving, or leadership. Often our strengths are so ingrained in who we are that we take them for granted, assuming that everyone else possesses them too. But the truth is, your strengths are uniquely yours, and they are the tools that have shaped your journey. Once you've identified your strengths, the next step is to actively affirm them. Affirmations are a powerful tool that can reshape your mindset. By repeating positive statements about yourself, you can begin to internalize them and shift from a place of self-doubt to one of self-assurance. For example, saying, "I am resourceful and capable of solving any challenge that comes my way," can help you tap into your inner problem solver the next time you face a difficult situation. Over time, these affirmations create a positive feedback loop, reinforcing the belief that you are competent and capable. It's important to understand that affirming your strengths is not about ignoring areas of growth or pretending that you're perfect. Rather, it's about balancing the critical voice that often dominates your thoughts with a more compassionate, empowering one. Acknowledging your strengths doesn't mean you stop improving or challenging yourself. It simply means you give yourself credit for what you've already achieved and recognize the tools you have to succeed. Affirming your strengths can also help you cultivate resilience. Life is full of challenges, and in those moments, it's easy to feel defeated or overwhelmed. But when you've spent time affirming your strengths, you're better equipped to face difficulties head-on. You remind yourself of what you've already accomplished and of the qualities that helped you get there. Whether it's perseverance, adaptability, or courage, affirming these traits allows you to draw on them when you need them most. It's like building a reserve of inner strength that you can call upon during tough times. Beyond resilience, affirming your strengths also nurtures self-compassion. Too often we focus on what we're doing wrong, criticizing ourselves for every mistake or perceived flaw. But when you take time to affirm your strengths, you're giving yourself the gift of kindness. You're reminding yourself that you are more than your mistakes, that you have qualities that make you strong, valuable, and worthy. This self-compassion doesn't just make you feel better, it also helps you grow. When you approach yourself with kindness, you're more likely to take risks, try new things, and push past your comfort zone, because you know that even if you stumble, you have the strength to recover. Affirming your strengths also improves your relationships. When you feel confident and secure in who you are, you show up more authentically with others. You're less likely to seek validation or approval from outside sources because you've already affirmed your worth internally. This creates healthier, more balanced relationships where you're able to give and receive love and support without fear of judgment or rejection. Additionally, when you affirm your strengths, you're better able to recognize and appreciate the strengths in others. You create a positive, affirming environment, not just for yourself, but for those around you. Another benefit of affirming your strengths is that it helps you stay focused on your goals. When you're clear on your abilities and strengths, you're more likely to pursue opportunities that align with them. Instead of wasting energy on tasks or goals that don't serve you, you can focus on what allows you to thrive. This clarity helps you move forward with greater purpose and direction, knowing that you have the skills and qualities to achieve what you set out to do. Ultimately, affirming your strengths is about building a foundation of self-belief. It's about recognizing that you already have within you the tools you need to succeed, grow, and overcome challenges. When you regularly affirm your strengths, you cultivate a mindset of abundance and possibility. You stop seeing obstacles as insurmountable and start viewing them as opportunities to use your strengths in new ways. In a world that often encourages us to focus on our weaknesses, affirming your strengths is a radical act of self-love and empowerment. It shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's already present, from what you can't do to what you're capable of. By affirming your strengths, you give yourself permission to be proud of who you are and confident in what you can achieve. This simple practice can transform not only how you see yourself, but how you engage with the world around you. Every challenge we encounter in life is an opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve. While it's natural to feel frustrated or disheartened when difficulties arise, there is always a deeper lesson hidden within each experience, waiting to be discovered. The ability to find the lesson in a challenge is a skill that can transform how we perceive obstacles and how we respond to them. It shifts our mindset from seeing hardships as unfair burdens to recognizing them as stepping stones to growth. When we face a challenge, our immediate reaction is often to focus on the discomfort or stress it brings. We may ask, why is this happening to me, or feel like life is unfair? However, the first step in finding the lesson is to move beyond this initial reaction and embrace the idea that every challenge serves a purpose. It's not about dismissing your feelings or pretending the struggle doesn't exist. It's about acknowledging that even within difficulty, there is something valuable to be gained. One of the most profound lessons we can learn from challenges is resilience. Life's challenges often push us beyond what we think we can handle, but in doing so, they show us how strong we truly are. Every time we rise above adversity, we reinforce our ability to overcome obstacles. This inner strength is not something we can cultivate in the absence of difficulty. It's forged through hardship. The more we face, the more resilient we become, and this resilience not only helps us navigate future challenges, but also builds our confidence in our ability to persevere. Challenges also teach us humility. They remind us that we don't have all the answers, and sometimes things won't go according to plan. While this can be frustrating, it's also a valuable lesson in letting go of control and accepting life as it comes. When we release the need for everything to be perfect or predictable, we become more adaptable and open to the flow of life. Humility also allows us to seek help when we need it, to admit when we don't know something, and to learn from others who may have more experience or insight in a given area. Another key lesson that challenges offer is perspective. When we are in the midst of a difficult situation, it can be hard to see the bigger picture. But once we've moved through the challenge, we often gain a new perspective on life. What seemed overwhelming at the time may later appear as a small bump in the road, something that helped us grow in ways we couldn't have anticipated. Challenges force us to step back and reevaluate our priorities, values, and goals. They help us see what truly matters and what is worth letting go of. Additionally, challenges provide an opportunity for self-reflection. When things are going smoothly, it's easy to coast through life without taking time to reflect on our actions, thoughts, and behaviors. But when a challenge arises, we are often forced to confront parts of ourselves we may not have acknowledged before. Maybe it's a pattern of thinking that's holding us back, or a fear we need to face. Challenges bring these things to the surface, giving us the chance to reflect and make changes that can lead to personal growth. Another lesson found in challenges is the development of problem-solving skills. When we encounter obstacles, we are pushed to think creatively, adapt, and find new solutions. These problem-solving skills are invaluable not only in overcoming the immediate challenge, but in future situations as well. Each time we face a challenge and work through it, we become better equipped to handle the next one. We build a toolbox of strategies, insights, and experiences that we can draw on whenever life throws something unexpected our way. Finding the lesson in a challenge also fosters gratitude. This may seem counterintuitive, but once we've come through a difficult time, we often find ourselves grateful for the experience because of what it taught us. We may be grateful for the strength we discovered within ourselves, for the support we received from others, or simply for the fact that we made it through. Gratitude shifts our focus away from what went wrong and toward what we gained in the process. It helps us see that even in the midst of hardship, there is something to be thankful for. Lastly, challenges remind us that growth is a continuous process. Just as the seasons change, so too do the seasons of our lives. There will be times of ease and times of difficulty, but each phase serves a purpose in our journey. Challenges are not roadblocks meant to stop us in our tracks. They are part of the natural ebb and flow of life. When we learn to embrace them as opportunities for growth, we stop fearing them and start welcoming them as catalysts for positive change. In conclusion, finding the lesson in a challenge is a practice that can enrich our lives in countless ways. It builds resilience, teaches humility, offers perspective, encourages self-reflection, enhances problem-solving skills, fosters gratitude, and reminds us of the ongoing nature of personal growth. By approaching challenges with an open heart and mind, we can transform even the most difficult experiences into valuable lessons that shape us into stronger, wiser, and more compassionate individuals.